What did you make of some of the refereeing decisions?
It's just not good enough. Referees are just not good enough. Fourth officials are just not good enough. That's the bottom line. VAR today, I think did I see that right? That 3 people at the VAR from South America in a match like this. I think so. I saw this before the match. I might be, but if this is what I saw, if this is correct, it's just VAR overturns.
People aren't even calling it England versus Argentina anymore. Across social media, a different name has taken over: England versus Vargentina. Others have gone even further, calling it England versus FIFA. After everything fans have watched over the last 2 weeks, it's easy to see why so many people are talking like that. Now, on Wednesday night in Atlanta, the tournament's most controversial team faces the one opponent many believe could be impossible to push past. The pressure couldn't be any bigger. This is the showdown the entire tournament has been building toward, whether anyone expected it or not. So before kickoff, it's worth looking at why that nickname exploded online in the first place. It didn't appear out of nowhere. It came from fans reacting to a series of big decisions that, in their view, seemed to go Argentina's way during key moments. Against Egypt, an impressive Egyptian goal was ruled out after a VAR review for a foul much earlier in the play. Later, Egypt wanted a penalty at the other end, but no review changed the decision before Argentina went on to score the winner. The frustration was so intense that Egypt reportedly submitted a formal complaint to FIFA. Then came the Switzerland match. Just after Switzerland found an equalizer, VAR reviewed an incident and upgraded an Argentine yellow card situation into a red card for a Swiss player instead, completely changing the momentum of the game.
I just don't think Argentina are what they used to be 4 years ago and even before that. And I think it's England's best chance ever of getting to the final and winning the World Cup, I think.
And sparking even more debate. Even Argentina's own coach, Lionel Scaloni, admitted afterward, "Luck was on our side today. That's the reality." Go back another round, and Lionel Messi also became part of the discussion after avoiding a card for a challenge on Algeria's captain that many viewers argued deserved a straight red. One close call after another left plenty of fans believing the biggest decisions kept falling the same way, and that only made the online debate grow louder. That's the pattern many fans point to. That's where the name Vargentina really took off online. And now there's one theory spreading across social media that this whole match can't escape. Some people believe FIFA wants Messi in the final. They point to the huge financial success expected from this tournament, along with FIFA President Gianni Infantino's well-known admiration for Messi, including his decision to invite Inter Miami to the Club World Cup, despite the club not qualifying through the usual route. To those fans, it all adds up to one big question. Is everyone really just watching coincidence? No one has produced clear proof that matches are being controlled or scripted, but for many people online, the combination of controversial refereeing decisions,
European football's governing body says that FIFA has crossed the red line,
massive financial stakes, and Messi's global popularity has been enough to raise suspicions. Whether those claims are true or not, the conversation has exploded. That's exactly why Wednesday's semifinal is being talked about as the biggest test yet for both Argentina and the tournament itself. Until now, those debates surrounded matches against Cape Verde, Egypt, and Switzerland. All three earned plenty of respect for their performances, but they didn't bring the same worldwide spotlight. This time, it's England, one of football's biggest nations, one of the sport's founders, with more than 15,000 traveling supporters already in the country, and millions of viewers around the world ready to analyze every single moment. If this semifinal features another highly controversial decision, whether it's a harsh red card, a tight offside call, or a penalty that sparks debate, you can expect the reaction to be enormous. Every replay will be examined from every angle. Every frame will be slowed down. Every decision will be discussed across social media and television by an audience that's already paying incredibly close attention and ready to question anything that looks unusual. The debate has become so loud that this semifinal feels like more than just a football match. For many fans, it's also a test of FIFA's credibility.
No fair, no fair, referee no fair.
Every whistle on Wednesday will be examined from every possible angle, almost like evidence in a courtroom. So what exactly will people be watching for? Supporters who believe the online theories will be looking for the same types of controversial moments that have already sparked debate throughout this tournament. Fans will be watching to see if an England goal is ruled out by an incredibly close offside decision that only the smallest margin can detect. They'll also be paying attention to whether England receive a second yellow card at a crucial point in the game, or whether a penalty decision at either end becomes the biggest talking point of the night. If another major VAR controversy appears, social media is almost guaranteed to explode with reactions and endless slow-motion replays. None of those situations would be unfamiliar. Every one of them has already been debated somewhere during this competition, which is exactly why emotions are running so high heading into Wednesday. But it's also important to look at the full picture instead of treating this as a simple story with obvious heroes and villains. England haven't had a completely controversy-free path either.
Sí, que siempre es especial jugar contra las selecciones grandes, no me pasó nunca contra Inglaterra, es la primera vez, así que va a ser un partido especial, semifinal de la Copa del Mundo, así que bueno, ahora descansaremos y nos prepararemos para eso. Venimos de mucho desgaste, de jugar una larga más otra vez y bueno, a veces se nota.
They also benefited from moments that sparked discussion on their road to the semifinals. In the quarterfinal against Norway, Jude Bellingham's equalizer came shortly after the ball appeared to make contact with an overhead camera cable. Many viewers argued that if the touch had been spotted by the officials, play should have been stopped before the goal, adding another layer to the tournament's growing refereeing debate. FIFA's tracking system reported that the ball never touched the camera cable, so the goal stood, and Norway were left frustrated. After the match, Thomas Tuchel openly admitted, "We were lucky today." That reminder matters because England have also benefited from decisions that sparked debate on their way to this semifinal. This isn't a story about one completely innocent team facing one completely guilty team. Football is rarely that simple. There's another point that often gets overlooked. Every major Argentina decision that has caused huge arguments also had a legal basis under the laws of the game. Embolo was judged to have dived. The foul in the Egypt match was still considered a foul under the rules, even though it happened much earlier in the move. Those calls may have felt harsh or frustrating to many fans, but a decision can be controversial while still fitting within the rule book. That's very different from having proof that matches are being manipulated. There's also the difference between watching on television and experiencing the moment inside the stadium. Journalist Roger Bennett,
how annoyed they were with the officiating on the field of play,
who attended the Egypt match in person, described it by saying, "The most profound I have had in an American stadium. Near religious joyous, with strangers hugging and Messi sobbing. On TV, some viewers saw controversy. Inside the stadium, others experienced something unforgettable. Perspective can change how the same moment is remembered. The most likely explanation for many fans is not a proven secret plot, but a combination of inconsistent officiating, repeated refereeing debates, and the enormous global attention surrounding Messi's final World Cup journey. There is no confirmed evidence that matches have been fixed. What has happened, though, is that years of controversial decisions have damaged FIFA's credibility enough that many supporters now question almost every major call, and that's exactly why this semifinal is so fascinating. Whatever people believe about the officiating, England don't need any special breaks to win this game. They've shown throughout the tournament that they have the quality, confidence, and talent to beat anyone purely through their football. Everything now comes down to what happens on the pitch. Thomas Tuchel has already written himself into England's history books. He's become just the fourth manager ever to guide England to a World Cup semifinal, joining Alf Ramsey, Bobby Robson, and Gareth Southgate. Even more impressive, he's done it with a team led by two of the tournament's standout performers. Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham have each scored 6 goals in 6 matches. Among the teams still left in the competition, only Lionel Messi and Kylian Mbappe have matched or bettered that kind of scoring impact.
Speaking of Argentina, this is the first time England have ever come up against a chap called Lionel Messi. Give us the goalkeeper's perspective on what makes him so dangerous.
Yeah, I think he's scored so many goals that he's contributed to so many goals as well over his career, and it's great to be able to finally come up against him for so long and watching him as a kid. And yeah, but we all know how good Messi is, but we also know how good Argentina is, so can't just solely rely on Messi. We've got to focus on the other strengths as well, and the other weaknesses we can take advantage of.
But this England side is about much more than goals. It's the way they play that makes them such a difficult team to stop. Kane regularly drops deeper into midfield, pulling defenders out of position and helping link the attack. That movement forces opponents into uncomfortable decisions and creates space in dangerous areas. Then, England attack with speed from the wings, making full use of their depth and energy every time they move forward. Bukayo Saka, Anthony Gordon, Noni Madueke, Marcus Rashford, and Ebereki Eze keep bringing fresh pace and direct running into every match. Then, charging through the middle comes Jude Bellingham, timing his late runs into the penalty area with incredible precision. When everything clicks, England's attack looks perfectly designed to exploit the kinds of defensive problems Argentina have struggled with throughout this tournament. And make no mistake, Argentina have looked vulnerable at times. Cape Verde created dangerous chances against them. Egypt produced one of the tournament's most memorable goals. Switzerland repeatedly found space behind Argentina's defensive line and caused real problems. Lionel Scaloni has even acknowledged that his team have struggled to keep possession consistently for long stretches. They've let winning positions become difficult more than once, and England will be aiming to take full advantage of any weakness they can find. Argentina have also had to battle through an exhausting knockout stage. They've been pushed into extra time twice and survived one dramatic late escape. 3 physically demanding matches in a row have tested the entire squad, including 39-year-old Lionel Messi. Against Switzerland, Messi didn't score, ending a run of 10 straight World Cup matches in which he had found the net. That result led many fans to wonder whether the heavy schedule is finally starting to catch up with the team. If England can keep the pressure high, attack with speed, and force mistakes from a defense that has looked vulnerable at times, they have every reason to believe they can win this match on football alone. A convincing performance would also shift the conversation away from all the online controversy and put the focus back where both teams want it.
This game against Argentina, Messi is going to be manoeuvring, around that right side to central areas a lot more than being on the left-hand side. And I feel like if you've got Spence in that position, I feel like one-on-one defender, there's not better than him out there, one-on-one.
On what happens on the pitch, but writing Argentina off would be a huge mistake. This is still one of the most experienced and composed teams left in the tournament. Even when they haven't played their best football, they've continued to find ways to survive. That's because they have something every opponent fears: world-class players who can change a match in a single moment. Julian Alvarez's long-range strike against Switzerland, Enzo Fernandez's decisive header against Egypt. Time and again, when the pressure reaches its highest point, someone wearing Argentina's famous blue and white shirt finds a way to produce a game-changing moment. That's a quality no opponent can afford to ignore. There's also the emotional side of this story. An entire country is dreaming of La Ultima de Leo, Messi's final World Cup journey. This will also be the first time he has ever faced England, after missing their last meeting through suspension. As Messi told reporters, "I've never had the chance to play against England." Argentina have even requested and been approved to wear their traditional blue away kit, the same color they wore in memorable World Cup victories over England in 1986 and 1998, adding even more emotion to an already massive occasion. Many Argentina supporters also believe this run is about more than tactics or talent. Alongside football superstitions and personal beliefs, some feel destiny is on Messi's side, and that this could be his final chance to lift the World Cup. Whether you believe in luck or not, that emotional belief has become a huge part of Argentina's journey and gives the team even more confidence heading into this massive semifinal. From a tactical point of view, this match could be decided by a handful of huge individual battles. The biggest question is the obvious one. Who keeps Lionel Messi under control? He doesn't cover every blade of grass like he did earlier in his career, choosing his moments much more carefully now. But once the ball reaches the final third, he's still one of the most dangerous players in world football. England's defenders and midfielders will have to decide whether to follow him closely wherever he goes.
Does Argentina rely too heavily on Messi and France too heavily on Kylian Mbappé? It's just what it is. They're world-class players. And they do normally what they do. So everyone is pushing, and we had, I think, 3 different goal scorers in the first match, and to rely on Harry is just a natural thing because he loves the responsibility and he takes it. We rely on Harry because we can, because he's our forward, but we don't over-rely on him.
Or trust their defensive shape. Give Messi even a little bit of space, and he has the vision and quality to make opponents pay. Argentina have an equally difficult problem to solve. How do they contain the partnership between Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham with a defense that has already been stretched during this tournament? If they sit too deep, England will enjoy more possession and control the game higher up the pitch. If they push their defensive line forward instead, they risk leaving exactly the kind of open spaces that Bellingham loves attacking with his late runs. That's what makes this semifinal so fascinating. Neither team has a perfect tactical answer. The battle in midfield could decide everything. Can Argentina's experienced players slow the tempo, break up England's rhythm, and use their game management to stay in control? Or will England's younger legs, relentless pressing and high energy, wear Argentina down over the course of 90 minutes? Every duel could shape the outcome of this incredible match. There's another storyline developing inside the England camp, and it's one that could have a huge impact on this semifinal. After the win over Norway, Thomas Tuchel didn't hold back when talking about his team's performance, saying they had been fortunate. Those comments reportedly didn't sit well with Jude Bellingham. After starring with 2 goals, he responded with a sharp remark that questioned whether Tuchel truly understood what it was like to face players such as Erling Haaland and Martin Odegaard, a comment many saw as a pointed reference to Tuchel's brief playing career. Moments like that can take a team in 2 very different directions. Sometimes they bring players even closer together, creating a stronger mentality before a massive game. Other times, they allow small disagreements to grow into bigger distractions. Tuchel's job now is to make sure everyone is fully focused before Wednesday, because any cracks inside the squad could become an opportunity for Argentina to exploit. So how does this semifinal actually play out? Based purely on football, England have every reason to believe they can win. They've looked fresher, they've carried strong form into the knockout rounds, and stylistically, this matchup could suit them against an Argentina defense that has faced some difficult moments during the tournament. If everything comes down to performance on the pitch alone, England have a very realistic chance of reaching the final. That said, counting Argentina out would be a mistake. They still have Lionel Messi, a squad packed with experience and a remarkable ability to produce decisive moments under the biggest pressure.
I think they're infinitely beatable. I know they've got this elite footballer in the middle of the park that can sit there and do wonderful things. I still think that England have the ability to beat Argentina, irrespective of getting carried away and getting all up our own backsides about how important we are and he's coming over and all that old pony.
Right.
The bottom line is I think that man for man, the Argentinians are infinitely beatable side.
Infinitely beatable.
Their supporters believe they always find a way, while critics continue to question whether some key refereeing decisions have gone in their favor. Those debates will no doubt continue, but the biggest hope for everyone watching is simple: that this unforgettable semifinal is decided by the players, the football, and the moments created on the pitch. That's exactly why so many people see this as the biggest and most talked about match of the entire World Cup. It's also worth remembering what's waiting for the winner of this massive semifinal. Whoever comes through in Atlanta will earn a place in the World Cup final at MetLife Stadium on July 19th, where either France or Spain will be waiting after their own heavyweight semifinal. For England, this is a chance to reach their first World Cup final since lifting the trophy back in 1966. It's the opportunity generations of supporters have dreamed about after decades filled with disappointment, close calls, and unforgettable heartbreak. For Argentina, the prize carries just as much emotion. Victory would move them one step closer to giving Lionel Messi the perfect ending to his World Cup career with back-to-back titles. Many supporters believe that achievement would strengthen his place in football history and add another incredible chapter to a career already filled with legendary moments. With so much at stake, every decision in this match is guaranteed to come under intense scrutiny. That's why the refereeing will be watched so closely. Any controversial decision, whether it's a penalty, a red card, or a VAR review, could become the defining moment of the semifinal. It wouldn't simply influence one match. It could determine which football giant gets the chance to compete for the biggest prize in the sport and which one is left wondering what might have been. That's an enormous responsibility for the officials. And everyone knows the spotlight will be brighter than ever. Even without all the debate surrounding officiating.
You know, everyone will talk about Messi because he's one of the goats of the game, but you can't look past how the ability and the talent we've got in the squad going forward, defensively, togetherness. We've got it all there, and that's what we need to put on show on Wednesday. But we also can't just talk about Messi. They're a good side and they're reigning champions, so yeah, they're a good side, but we've got so much ability in our squad going forward, and we're hard to break down. We've got that resilience, we've got that togetherness, and we've got that mentality. You know, that's what makes it a good team.
This would still be one of the biggest matches of the tournament because of the history between these two nations. This will be the 6th World Cup meeting between England and Argentina, but the first ever in a semifinal and their first meeting of any kind in more than 20 years. Their rivalry has produced some of football's most unforgettable moments, including the famous 1966 quarterfinal in which Argentina captain Antonio Ratin was sent off at Wembley before refusing to leave the pitch. Ratin, who passed away at the age of 89 shortly before this semifinal, was honored by Argentina's players as they wore black armbands before taking the field, adding another emotional chapter to an already historic rivalry. This rivalry also carries the unforgettable memories of the 1986 World Cup. That was the match where Diego Maradona scored both the famous Hand of God goal and the stunning solo effort that became known as the goal of the century. Coming just 4 years after the Falklands War, the match carried emotions that stretched far beyond football. Maradona later wrote that, in his view, the handball goal gave him a different kind of satisfaction, using a controversial comparison to describe what it meant against England. The story didn't end there. England and Argentina met again at the 1998 World Cup, where David Beckham's red card became one of the biggest talking points of the tournament. 4 years later, Beckham found redemption by scoring the winning penalty when England knocked Argentina out in 2002. Across almost 6 decades, this fixture has produced unforgettable moments, huge personalities, and some of the most emotional matches the World Cup has ever seen. Now, with a place in the final on the line, another historic chapter is about to be written. It's impossible to ignore the wider history that has shaped this rivalry. The 74-day Falklands War in 1982, known in Argentina as the Malvinas War, claimed the lives of more than 900 people and added lasting political and emotional weight to every meeting between the two nations. For many supporters on both sides, those memories remain part of the background whenever England and Argentina face each other, helping explain why these matches often feel bigger than football alone. The emotion has already been building throughout this tournament. After defeating Switzerland, videos showed Argentina's players celebrating in the dressing room while singing team chants, and many supporters have brought the same passion into the stands. England fans have also traveled in huge numbers, with more than 15,000 reportedly making the journey to the United States. Local authorities have prepared for the possibility of isolated incidents between rival supporters, hoping the focus stays where everyone wants it, on an unforgettable football match played on the pitch. To understand Argentina's style, the dazzling skill, the sneaky street smarts, and the hard edge that drives opponents crazy, journalist Jonathan Wilson once described their football as of the streets. where players learn to protect themselves because there's no teacher standing nearby with a whistle. It's football built on survival, sharp thinking, and finding a way to win when the pressure gets nasty. That spirit is now about to crash straight into England's anger, energy, and belief on the biggest stage imaginable. And this is where the whole story finally lands. Either England are talented enough, strong enough, and famous enough to smash the so-called script into pieces, beating Argentina so clearly that no controversial whistle can change the result, or the pattern survives one more round against the biggest opponent yet, and the accusations surrounding FIFA explode across the football world. There won't be a calm ending here. Kickoff is at 3 o'clock Eastern in Atlanta, and one way or another, this is the match the entire tournament has been pushing us toward. England have the pace, the fresh legs, and the tactical tools to expose Argentina. But Argentina have Messi, experience, street-smart game management, and that strange ability to escape when everything looks ready to fall apart. So now it's over to you. Do England finally break the curse and storm into their first World Cup final since 1966? Or do Messi, Argentina, and maybe another controversial moment drag this unbelievable story into one last final? Drop your prediction in the comments before kickoff, and make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with another football fan, and comment with the team you think is going through. After full time, we'll be right back here breaking down the biggest moments, the wildest reactions, and every controversial decision frame by frame.